Hi, everyone. Welcome to another hangout with the Abyss Girls.
Woo, hello.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Des.
How are you, Des?
I'm doing pretty good today. No complaints over here. How about you?
I have not been well. I mean, I guess I'm well, but,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been rough out here. It's been rough in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. It's hard because I feel like there's not too much to complain about, but it's just, been rough,
Yeah. I totally actually understand that 100%.
Yeah. I'm like, I had a pretty good day today at work. I had a good day at work yesterday. Just been super busy.
Mm-hmm.
And, actually, back to school, those parents know how to give good tips for their kids.
Hey, they're trying to make sure their kids don't get bullied.
Goodness.
You just, shave it a spot.
I was like, show me the wallet. What?
Tip first, and then I'll determine how good the haircut.
How good this haircut is. No, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, tips have been good. We've been super busy. I'm like, these kids are so cute and funny.
I was gonna ask, are they nice, the kids?
They are. I haven't gotten anyone rude.
That's nice.
But I do remember the first time I did get a kid's cut, when I first started doing hair, it was a 13-year-old boy, and he had kind of a Justin Bieber bowl type look, and he was platinum blonde, and he's I was cutting bangs, and the way his bangs rounded off were weird, and I didn't want to make them too short, so I was asking my coworker for help. So she comes over and she's helping me, and then he's like, "Whoa, is it really that hard? Does it take two of you to do this?" And I was like,
"What?"
I was like, "Well, I don't want to fuck up your hair," and he was like, "I just don't know why there needs to be two of you. Cutting hair is super easy." And
I'd be like, "Are you embarrassed or something?"
I was like, "Then do it yourself."
I am not above bullying.
I said, "Then do it yourself."
Yeah.
And then he just stayed quiet.
Yeah, good.
And I was like, "Jeez."
That's a good one.
Yeah,
do it yourself.
I was scarred. I was
Dude,
like, oof.
well, you know what? To this day, even in when I was younger, middle school and in high school, but even as an adult, teenage boys have always scared the living shit out of me.
Like the song.
Yes, they're so scary because they're so judgmental, and then they got all this attitude and this I'm stronger out of nowhere, so I can probably push people around type vibe.
They're
and
my voice just dropped.
Yeah.
You know I'm a man.
Yeah,
now?
they're going through shit in their own head, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their life's so much harder than, we could ever understand or something, so they have all this angst. And I'm just it's like that meme where it's you see a group of them, you gotta go across the street.
You're like, oop.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm just so scared. So I can only imagine, for me anyway, that's why I don't cut hair. But if I was going to be cutting hair and some kid talked to me like that, I'd be like, I can't cut hair anymore. I can't cut your hair anymore. This is so bad. Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It might make me cry.
No, yeah, but I had no boys today. Had 4 little girls, all super cute and sweet.
Nice.
All 9 to 10.
Nice.
They're so cute. They're just yeah.
Was that middle school or elementary school?
Elementary school.
Elementary. 2nd
to 3rd grade.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm I don't even know how old kids are supposed to be in school.
I was going to say, well, I don't either. And I just know because I'm oh, how old are you? And then I'm oh, are you excited to go back to school? What grade are you going in?
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see how different kids are. Mm-hmm. Some are super outgoing and bubbly. And I think the 3rd girl I got was just super quiet.
Shy.
Didn't really say much. Not shy, just kind of standoffish. And then I thought she had her mom's phone, but then I saw it was her phone. And then she's just tapping on her phone. And then she's playing some weird game. And I was interesting. I'm what is that?
Can
I just saw a mannequin head. And she was drawing it. I was
oh.
But she was just so quiet. I felt she didn't want me to talk to her. So I didn't.
Respect.
And I was oh.
That's probably the best case scenario for her.
I know, she's just cool. I was what do you want? And then she just looks at her mom, and her mom's she wants to take a little bit off and curtain bangs. And I was okay. And I was where do you want them to start? And then she's I She's like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what those are. And I was like, no, it's fine. I was like, they're just bangs that open up like a curtain. I was like, usually start around here or here, depending.
Sure.
And I was like, you're gonna have to help her style them or they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the little girl's like, I love it. Bye.
Love that.
I was like, bye.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. And then I cut like a friend's daughter's hair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My little sister's going back to school too. I mean, I guess all kids are, but when I think about my little sister going back to school, she's going to a new school, so she's not going to have like the same friends.
Yeah. I feel like, what grade is she in? She's like a little bit younger than my sister, right? Like a year or two?
I think so. Second. I think she's going to second or first grade.
Okay. I was to say, I feel
she's
like
7?
Okay, maybe first.
First, I think it's first.
Okay. I was gonna say, I feel like in like those kindergarten through second grade, I feel like moving classrooms and school isn't like as big of a deal for you mentally.
Sure.
I feel like around third grade, you can start to like feel it like, oh, my friends.
Because it's been solid years of growing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I moved so much as a kid. I have no idea what years impacted me and what years did.
Yeah,
you know,
I definitely went to 3 elementary schools. I went 2 grades, 2 grades, and 2 grades. Yeah.
I think I went to... That's really hard for me to remember because I went to so
1,000?
many. I think I went to 2 in another state, and I think I went to 2 here.
Okay.
And then, like, in this state. And then for middle school, I think I only went to, like... 3, I think.
Okay.
3 different ones, I think.
Okay.
And then high school, I went to 3 different ones.
Dang, that's wild. No, yeah, I only went to 1 out of another state when we used to live in Washington. 2 here from when I moved here, and then like we moved again, and then I got moved to a better school, and then just same middle school and high school. Yeah,
that's nice. At least like I feel like middle school to high school, like the transitional period is so important to like kind of know who your friends are or like going into high school. Because I don't know, as somebody who went to 3 different high schools and had to start like what feels like 3 different times.
Yeah.
Everyone has their cliques already in high school, and that's from middle school. That's like from growing out there, you know what I mean? So for me, it was a little difficult, but I wouldn't say I was like antisocial. I definitely had like everybody was my friend, but I think that's why. You know what I mean? Because there was no set group, you know?
No, yeah, I've always just talked to everyone. And then when I did go to high school, I was sad because all of my friends from middle school were all going to Galena. Mm-hmm. And I was the only one that went to Reno High. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to know anyone.
But it was fun,
so scared. Right? Well, on my first date, one of my friends from Pine was like, yeah, my dad, like, I'm stoned for here. And I was like, nice. Sick. And then all of my friends from elementary school were there. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Worked out.
And I shout out to those friends, honestly, that stuck with me through all my moving. Because I moved so many times and, like, back and forth, too, like, from cities that, like, I honestly, like, I think my family thought I wouldn't have any friends or anything like that because they were like, well, it's probably so hard for her to make friends, like, moving to new schools. But I had some solid motherfuckers that would message me on Facebook or, like, in games, you know what I mean? Yeah. So those are my ride or dies. Still friends with them.
Yeah. Sick.
You got any plans for this week?
This week, I'm trying to think what's going on this week. Have Thursday off of work. I'm gonna be taking a haircutting class to learn some new techniques on that day, and my sister is moving into her dorm on that day. Nice. So I'm gonna go help her in the morning, and then she was telling me that we should go out to dinner or lunch or something before she starts college. She's like, before I leave forever. And I was like, like, don't say that.
So funny because you guys are still in the same city. It's not like she's like leaving or anything for college, which it's still a really big thing, but I'm just saying you guys still can hang out.
And I guess I'm gonna, because her dog's gonna come live with me now, so make room for a new puppy in this place.
Right, yeah.
And What else? I feel like
Big moves.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm trying to think. I don't know what else I have planned besides working.
Yeah. Well, that sounds cool and good for your sister. Congratulations to your sister
I'm
again.
actually gonna do my sister's hair tomorrow. Both of my sister's hair tomorrow, so I cannot hang out with you tomorrow.
That's fine.
But yeah, this week I did 2 of our friends' hair. Well, since we last recorded, I had a really fun doing our one friend because we switched up her hair color.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it was definitely challenging because, I don't know, I didn't try to do gray on anyone's hair, and like in my head toning it seemed easier than just like applying, because they have like actual gray color, like fashion color, and then a toner, and then I was talking to my coworker about it, and she's like, oh, I would maybe just put like a actual gray color instead of a toner, and I was like, but I still tried to do the toner, and it came out looking wild. I was like, oh. And I love our friend. She was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I don't mind. And I was like, I want to fix it, please. Yeah. And yeah, so I pulled it out really quick. Good. And then did the gray color. Looks way better.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it came out looking great. Yeah. I love the cut. I like the...
yeah, the cut was really fun and challenging.
Yeah. I liked her undercut. I thought it looked really good.
Thanks.
It looks really, really good. Yeah, it like, because when you were telling me about it before I had seen it, and even in the photo does not do it justice either.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was like, and it was still kind of hard for me to like see the color that you were talking about. And then when I saw it in person, I was like, oh no, that looks cool. Like that looks sick.
I know, that's the only like bad thing about doing stuff late at night is that there's no sunlight to like get a good picture.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand that. Well, it looks cool, so that's cool.
Yeah, thanks. But how is your week? Do you have any plans coming up?
Coming up, I might try and go see Borderlands.
Okay,
because I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
I want to. I don't know if I said it on the podcast before, but Borderlands is one of those games that's like near and dear to my heart, just because I used to play with my dad and my little brother.
Nice. I love that.
You know, that's one of the very few games that was not only multiplayer in the house, because a lot of the games that we all played were like single players, except my brother was like obsessed with GTA. But I like that game was one of the only ones that we all played together. Okay. Like, could just all hop on at any time because it had this like cool feature, like you jump on, it doesn't matter if they're a higher level than you because it'll just level you up.
Okay.
To kind of like balance it. Super fun. I love the game. I love the characters. So I'm excited to see the movie. And you know, I was talking to my partner about it because I guess some people are like kind of like, I don't know what they're expecting out of the movie, but I kind of it's PG-13, so I don't expect a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah.
But also, I expect corniness, because, like, the characters are corny. They're, like, cliche. That's the word. Like, they're super cliche, whatever. It's a simple kind of story or whatever. So I'm excited to see how they play it. Plus, I love Bobby Lee, and he's going to be in it.
Oh, nice.
And so, I'm, like, really excited to see him. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. She's cool. She's going to be in it.
Okay,
And then Claptrap is Jack Black.
Okay.
So that's cool. Which reminds me, I know we were talking about it a while ago, like movies we were excited for. But I'm excited for the Minecraft movie.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Minecraft movie.
It's a live action. Okay. And Jack Black's going to be in it. Nice. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Nice.
I don't know what, like, their characters, I don't know if they're going to be like Minecraft Steve or not. But from the only thing I've heard Jack Black talk about on Bad Friends, he was saying that it's like, just you are inside the world of Minecraft. Okay. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I was like imagining The Rock as like Steve.
He just has like a little hat. The little hat. So I'm excited for that movie.
Okay.
That movie too. Yeah. But I probably nothing else really pops into my mind. I've been trying to draw more.
Nice.
My week otherwise, like previously has just been it's been good. It's been all right. It's just been going, you know.
Yeah. I didn't remember, or I'm not sure. Were we watching Trap together or not, or did we just?
I want to.
Okay, do we want to watch it together?
I am 100% down.
Okay.
100% down.
Because I really want to watch it too.
Me too. It looks like a really good concept. But you know what?
What?
So I want to watch it regardless. I don't care. But like M. Night Shyamalan is the guy who made it, right? And he's notorious for making like, oh, you think it's going to be really good, and then the twist just kind of fucks, like, whatever. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm excited about this movie. It looks like a great concept. It's his daughter in the movie.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, that's cool. Like, so
Yeah,
her, like, I don't know if it's her
that.
first acting role or not,
Nice,
but that's kind of
sick.
cool, I guess, you know?
That's
yeah.
sick. Oh my god. Okay, so randomly 2 days ago, I thought I just randomly had like that flashback. You know, you get flashbacks in your head of like old stuff you used to watch or something. And I thought about that show where, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it was a Disney paranormal show called So Weird. And it's about like this girl who is on tour with her mom, because her mom's like a rock star or a musician or something. And it's her brothers and then the dad. And so they're on tour on the road, and everywhere they go, there's like paranormal stuff, and like her and the mom like
find out.
Like, yeah, like figure out what's going on, and she can like see them and hear them.
Oh, no, I've never seen that.
My God, it's so good.
That sounds good.
I was like thinking, I was like, wow, what a good show. I was like, why doesn't Disney make scary shows anymore?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't really know what Disney is doing anymore, other than a lot of Star Wars stuff. But like, I do remember, like, I mean, let's just go back to like old Disney Channel movies and like Halloween time.
Oh yeah,
like all the classics that came out of that. And I mean, Twitches. I fucking love Twitches. Well, we don't have any of that anymore. Like, they don't really make things like that, which is really unfortunate, because you're right. Like, those were like super good. And if you missed out, like, if you weren't watching Disney Channel live action movies and stuff, like, you missed out. Because back in the days, they were really fucking good. Like,
yeah, I literally have Twitches like burned on a disc somewhere.
Twitches was so
but
good.
also, they're on Disney Channel, Disney Plus, whatever. I looked up the show because I was like, is it on here? It's on there.
It's on there?
It's on there.
Nice.
And I watched like the pilot episode, and I was like, dude, this show is so good. And as soon as the little intro scene like played, I like remembered everything.
Flooded
and
back.
I was like,
yes.
I was like, dude, I've always been so spooky.
I
I'm just
love
like,
that.
so good. I was like,
that's awesome.
I know. I was like, now I could watch it as an adult, because I feel like I definitely didn't watch them all as a child.
Sure. That's super fucking cool, actually. I love that for you.
Yeah. So
I have
check
to go,
it out, guys.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out too. I have to go on Disney and just see the old Chisler movies that I haven't seen in a long time. Because, like, those are really good. And then, like, what's some more? Like, what's that Halloween Town was really good. What's that one with the houses, like, super futuristic?
Oh my god.
Is it just called Future House or something?
It's called something house.
Something like that.
Smart House.
Smart House.
Smart Home. Smart House.
They were ahead of their time.
Dude, no, well, okay, that movie that's coming out, the AI one,
where the buttons with the, like,
that
cameras?
reminded me of that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's just upgraded. Like, Smart House.
Yeah, it's the same people, imagine, but like now
grown up.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. But yeah, they hit some really good ones. But similarly, where like things started flooding back to you, but not in the spooky sense. Yeah. I did watch. I forgot to say I watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, nice. How was it?
So good. 10 out of 10. No spoilers. No spoilers. Go watch it. 10 out of 10 from me. I will say a couple things about it. 10 out of 10. I was worried at the beginning because I thought for another Deadpool movie, I was like, because I liked the first one a lot. The second one was pretty good. And I was just afraid, like, watching the third one, that it was just going to be an overuse of the fourth wall breaking, an overuse of the vulgarity, because that's what he's known for. Yeah. I thought it was just going to be that. I was taken back. Okay. Yeah, okay, because it was really, really
it's
good.
Ryan Reynolds, right?
I think that's his name.
Okay. I love him so
I'm so
much.
bad at names sometimes. He's the one with the... Yeah, I think it's Ryan Reynolds.
I was going to say Free Guy, right? Was that Ryan
I didn't
Reynolds?
watch that one.
Jess, that movie is hilarious. I love it. I watched it twice
I think you told me. I think you're the one who told me.
I love that movie.
Oh, he's the one that does that movie with the voices, right? His cat and his dog are like talking to him.
Wait, I don't think I've seen that. What is
Ooh,
that?
That one's crazy. He's like a psychopath or something. And I think Anna Kendrick's in it or something. And he has a crush on her. She works at his office. and he's like schizophrenic, and he like talks to his cat and his dog, and his cat is like the devil and his dog is like an angel or something, or God. And so he's like talking to them about like, I don't know what to do, because he ends up killing somebody and then putting the head in the fridge, but then the head talks to him and everything.
Oh my God, weird.
Like, it looks super normal and shit, but then when he's on his meds and the dog and the cat aren't talking to him, everything's so gray and fucked up, and like,
oh my God,
he can see the rotting body. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie.
Figure out what movie that is. Oh, what name did I say? Free
Ryan
Guy.
Reynolds?
No, the movie. Did I say Free Guy? Okay, yeah, just making sure. But yeah, also main character in If.
Yeah. He's also the writer, right, of that movie or something, or producer or something.
Him and John.
Yeah. So Ryan Reynolds, he's Deadpool, and then Hugh Jackman came back to do Wolverine, which we haven't seen him since Logan. Mm-hmm. Hilarious. I mean, again, no spoilers. Go watch the movie. I think they did a great job with the whole how do we bring Wolverine back, which is, I don't know if I said it on the podcast. I thought I said it a couple episodes ago, or maybe last episode, where I was saying I was a little bit worried about how they might address Logan's death, because I love him so much that I was worried, because I love the X-Men so much. So I was worried that they would be like annoying about it or whatever, but they did a perfect job. I won't say how they did it. It's great. It does super good job. But the thing that it reminded me that I watched it was that they have a lot of homage, or like a lot of ideas to bring back from the past, like movies that didn't take off. Like, not a huge spoiler, but like Fantastic Four type properties. Like the classic ones, you know? Like whoever played them. And then stay for the middle credits, stay for the end credits. I will say there's both. And then and they're both really good. The middle credit, though, made me tear up. And I don't want to say anything else, because I think everyone should watch it, but it did make me tear up just because I'm such a huge fan of these series. And I grew up with them. And I think if you grew up with them too, you'll feel that. You'll feel it. It's so good. So good. Everyone go watch it.
Yeah. Okay. When we were talking about movies right now, last night, I was doing our other friend's hair, and we were watching movies. So we watched Dune, because I hadn't seen it before. And then our other friend got home from her night out, and then we were just scrolling, trying to figure out if we were going to watch anything else. And then we put on Sausage Party, because our other friend hadn't seen it. And me and her were like, this movie's so good. I love this movie. And we both were. And then we watched it, and he was like, oh. He's like, who greenlit this movie?
I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Every time, like, I've talked about, not necessarily, because I don't hate the movie. I don't hate the movie. I just hate a lot of the jokes in the movie. Like, I think some of them are so funny, or like a little bit funny. Just like, even the intro's funny, you know, where the intro's funny. But there's some jokes that I can't even begin to smile at. And I'm like, how did and so I'm with them. I don't know. It was all right. It was whatever to me. I like could have went my whole life not watching the movie, honestly.
Yeah, and I've watched it twice. And there's a new one on Prime. And that's what I was
There's a new Sausage Party?
Yeah.
When did they make it?
I don't know. And so I wanted to watch it. And then that's when they were like, no, we haven't seen the first one or whatever.
What?
So
I had no idea they made
and I wanted to watch
one.
it, and we were trying to figure out what it is, and then also it was like what you can watch next, and they have a series. So I don't know what. Now I'm kind of.
I think it speaks big volumes that I didn't know about them, and
I don't even know when they came out.
That's what I'm saying. I think that speaks volumes about the franchising.
Well, it's a very crude adult things.
I guess, but that's like big. South Park and Family Guy and all that kind of shit is big too. Yeah. But and that's what made Sausage Party so big to begin with, and like why everyone wanted to go watch it, because it came out after The Dictator, right? Or The Dictatorship, or whatever it's called.
I don't even remember.
The Interview, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Right? With Seth Rogen and
I'm bad at timing, so.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think it came out after that one, because that was like after that movie came out, everyone was like, they're gonna bomb us. Oh no.
Dude, people are so scared.
They were mad, but like,
Yeah,
what can they
like,
do? They're really gonna bomb us over a fucking movie, bro?
Oh, it's a joke. Relax.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I could still do
They
it, but
could.
but I remember that being like the big uproar about it, and then I remember there kind of being some silence. So then when that came out, I feel like that's when everyone was like, "Oh snap! Finally, like another Seth Rogen movie," but also it's raunchy, it's dirty, it's like sexual.
It's hilarious. I laugh. I love it. I want to say my favorite scene's the murder scene or the orgy at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
It's wild. I'm like, they're like, oh, we fucking spoiler if you haven't seen the movie. It's been out
fucking
for years.
forever. Yeah.
When they assassinate everyone in the store, and then like after they're like, let's fuck. Then they just have like a crazy sex party with all the
foods and
buns and sauce.
stuff.
It's so hilarious. So I was like, oh my god, I love this.
There's like I think I remember why there's one specific scene I don't like.
Okay, which one is it?
The rape scene.
Oh,
yeah. That like it went from like what the fuck am I watching? Like, and that's like towards the middle end.
Yeah.
And so it like kind of like really kills the momentum of what I thought was funny.
About the douche. And then as soon as I heard the douche, I was like, oh my god, that's fucking Jay from fucking Big Mouth.
Yeah, Nick Kroll or whatever. No, whoever plays him.
Because I looked it up. Yeah,
I don't know his name, but yeah. I just,
yeah, but
there's some funny scenes in there.
The second one's on my list, so
let me know. Yeah, let me know. I mean, I'm not opposed to watching it. I've already seen the first one. That's how I do things, I guess.
Like the way they ended it, I'm like, where do you go from here? What's going on?
A bunch of food babies.
Oh.
They're Vienna sausages.
Yeah, that's so cute. I forgot. I would say my favorite part is when the little smush sausage finds the little smush bun. He's like, I see you're a little deformed.
Cute. Yeah, I think that's cute.
Yeah, but
It just like gave me also like in a sense, you know, did you ever watch like Annoying Orange, or do you know what that is?
I do. Remember we have that one video where we're using the like filter on Snapchat.
Oh yeah. Oh. And I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah. That's what it kind of gives me that vibe of food with mouths.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you want to know any more about the Gypsy Rose stuff that's been happening. Sure. I can just, like, catch everybody up, including you.
I don't know. I literally have seen nothing.
Yeah, so... It's so funny how much, like, I give attention to things I don't care about. But, like, and I don't...
That's how they get you.
It's like, I don't care, but I guess I do. But, so last time I think I mentioned that like she was leaving her husband.
She's like pregnant or something, right?
Yeah, and she's pregnant. She asked for money or whatever. Well, I finally got to watch the clips or like the show of her deciding to leave her husband.
Okay.
And also they had a dog. So they get
Did
together.
They split the dog?
No, she didn't give a fuck. She left that dog.
Oh
So she's with this guy, and then she like convinces him to get a dog. In the show, she talks about how the dog is like their baby and is gonna bring them closer together and like all this stuff. And then I don't even know how much longer after she just decides like she's so fucking unhappy with him. She calls him controlling and says he's crazy. And then her family, like her stepmom, will be like in her ear and talking to her ex. So she's texting Gypsy's ex.
What the
and
heck?
Then relaying the messages to Gypsy because Gypsy's not allowed, in quotes, to talk to him. But it's because her husband knows what the fuck she's trying to do.
What the heck?
So not only are they calling him crazy the whole time and telling him that he's like insecure and it's weird that he's controlling her, but then like also he's right in everything that he's feeling. Yeah. Sure, he's not going about it the right way, but he's married to you and he's desperately trying to hold on to whatever you guys have. Mm-hmm. So then she gets in the car. I guess at one point they're supposed to go out and she's just like not even smiling. She's just like, every time he says something, like super unhappy. And then at the end of it all, he's like, have you been talking to him? And she's like, no, that's not why. And like, I don't know.
I always love your impression of her voice.
And he's like, well, then what is it? Whatever. And she's like, I just don't know, like, what we're doing. And I feel so unhappy. And he's like, so... And she said something about, like, you have to want to fight for your relationship. Okay. And he's like, so do you want to fight still? She goes, no. Then he's like, okay. And he gets out of the car and leaves her in the car crying. She's crying. He gets out of the car, whatever. She's like, I'm gonna go to my mom's house for a few days, think it over. She packs like 3 bags. Like, she was not coming back. I don't think she was planning on ever coming back.
It's like one huge, like 12-foot bag. I'm just packing 3 of these.
She's got all her duffels, but no dog food. And she's like, I'm out. She's like, I'll be at my mom's, or my stepmom's and my dad's. And she's like, okay. Then she goes, and he's saying that she's messaging him saying, like, I still love you and I care about you and yada, yada, yada. And she's saying to her family simultaneously that, yeah, this wasn't the right move for me, like getting married, and I don't know what I was doing. And I think I just have to be honest with myself and say that it's not working, which is all valid. Sure. But if you want my fucking opinion on it, I think that she just, like, I honestly think she just used this guy. Like, because her ex broke up with her because she was still in prison, and he didn't know what it was going to be like when she got out. Yeah. She gets out, and she marries this guy who was also been there for her while she was in prison. Mm-hmm. So both dudes, in my opinion, are wrong for messaging her while she was in prison. Mm-hmm. Period. That's weird, and it feels predatory. But whatever. She gets out, she marries this guy. He takes her from that state to this state, has a home for her, gets her dog, whatever. Then as soon as her ex is like, yeah, I do want to be with you. I see that it's cool to be with you and people won't hate me for it.
You're like, oh, I'm going to be accepted.
Yeah. I honestly think it's that. Like, I think he was afraid that, like, being out in public with Gypsy when she got out was going to maybe be
like a social pariah.
Yeah. But instead, it's been very popularized to be seeing Gypsy out in public or whatever. There she is. So I think he wants the fame now.
No, yeah, I was about to say. Sounds like it.
So he gets back with her. She's having this conundrum. I don't know if I want to work on my marriage. No, you're not having a conundrum. You just don't want to look like a bad guy. Just go fucking date the guy you want to be with. Divorce your husband. Stop playing these mind games because it's fucking weird and lame and everyone can see right through it.
Yeah, you know, I bet, like, they would have maybe been down to be like a trio.
Honestly, she could have had it all. Yep, she could have had it all.
And a dog.
And so now, she says bye to him, whatever. Says, I don't want the dog, you can have the dog. Even though that was her puppy, her dream, her baby. Now it's nothing to her, it's his. And she gets immediately the week she leaves her husband's house, she gets matching tattoos with her ex of like a husky or something. Okay. And there's a photo of her that she sends to her husband of her with her hand on her ex's chest, like they're posed, like someone else took the photo. No ring on her finger. No ring on her finger. So obviously, like, you're trying to say something to him.
Yeah,
and then
the pettiness.
Yeah, she sends it to him and says, I saw Ken today, her ex. And he's like, that's evil. Like, what you just did is evil. And
there's
then
no
she's
reason
like,
you
what?
needed to do that.
And now she's the victim again because he's being controlling and doesn't want her to see him or whatever. Guess what? They're getting a dog together. They wanted to get a husky together after getting their matching tattoos.
Home.
No. She said, I won't take that dog. We'll get our own dog. But then, they're also having their baby. And it's so crazy because in the show, I guess according to timelines and her being pregnant or whatever, when she's talking to her stepmom and dad with her ex, who she's now dating at this time, I think, or they're saying they're not, but they, whatever. They're all having this conversation about being together and maybe getting married in the future and whatever. And her dad's like, well, I would like you to take it slow and, like, don't get pregnant for sure. Like, he literally is like, don't do that. And she's like, oh, yeah, no. And he's like, the boyfriend or whatever, he's like, absolutely not. Like, no, that's definitely not on our minds at all. According to the timeline, when he's saying, no, we're not going to have a baby or we're not thinking about it, she would have already been pregnant. So they're like, they're saying stuff like, oh, we're not going to have a baby. Yeah, we're taking it slow. Not right now. And she's already pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know if she just doesn't know or not in the time or whatever, but
she could not.
She could have not. Yeah. But also, you're fucking raw and he's nutting in you. At some point, you got to assume
maybe that's what she was
That's
doing with
the consequences.
other husband and nothing happened.
So I guess she messaged her husband and told him when she found out that she was pregnant and she didn't know which ones it was.
Ooh.
But it's more than likely, obviously, Ken's and not her husband's because
Yeah.
they weren't really banging at the time.
Okay.
But I think that was her way of keeping him on a string.
Okay.
I think she wants to keep her husband on a string because she hasn't gotten divorced yet.
Yeah.
Until I don't know if she is or not now, but she didn't get a divorce. I think she was just trying to see if it didn't work out with her ex.
Yeah.
If she
Have a
could go
backup.
back to her husband. And so
She's like, I had another dream.
that's the last
Okay.
update I have. I don't know if I really will have any more updates. It
Yeah.
just seems like after this, it just like, I won't be surprised if she goes back to her husband because Ken leaves her or Ken cheats on her or something. I won't be surprised if she has her baby and Ken isn't a good father. I won't be surprised if they have their baby and neither of them are good parents.
Yeah.
But I will be surprised if everything works out well. So if it works out well, then I'll bring up like, hey, congratulations, it
worked out.
works. But other than that,
Nice.
peace be with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Good for them, I guess.
Something. Oh, she got like some cease and desist also from her own like people, her lawyers and like cops and stuff, because I guess in one of the videos she made online, she said something about the guy she had murder her mom. She said like, yeah, me and whatever my accomplice or whatever the fuck she said.
Yeah.
When she's talking about it, she was such a side conversation, didn't even matter, whatever. But they saw that and they told her she needed to delete all her videos. She's not allowed to be on social media. She's not allowed to do this because she can't stop saying the wrong thing. And I guess she's not even supposed to mention that because their cases were separated in court or whatever.
Okay.
And they're not supposed to have any kind of communication at all.
Okay.
That her bringing up him is apparently a breach of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Dang.
I got a Beetlejuice cup. I got a Beetlejuice cup.
Yes, you did.
We'll post the photo of it.
It is so freaking cute.
It's a little shrunken head guy. I forget his name, but little shrunken head guy.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I don't even know if he has a name.
If you guys have ever seen Beetlejuice, it's in the
It's
waiting room.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys waiting, and Beetlejuice is like next to him, and he like steals his number or whatever, and then so the guy sprinkles dust on his head, and he shrinks. Yeah. Very good, very good. And it's like a drinking cup. I got it at Cinemark, but I know AMC has like the sandworm popcorn bucket.
Okay, cute.
It looks pretty cool.
So, in lately, audiobook wise, I finished the 4th ACOTAR book.
Nice.
It was kind of like a filler book. It was pretty quick, not as long as the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to start the next book, but it's 26 hours. And I had Drew Afualo's new book on my queue, so I decided to queue that up. Almost got through it. I have an hour and 22 minutes left.
Nice.
I ran out of time.
Wow, you're almost there.
Such a good book.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good. Is there anything you can point out about the book specifically? Like, what kind of book is it? Is it a memoir? Is it a self? Like, what is it? Because I like her too. She was on Soul Boom recently. Also a good episode. People go check it out. Love Rainn Wilson. They have a great conversation about what it means to be intersect feminist, what it means for her to be feminist, and how she feels like she's invoking feminism when she does her videos. I thought it was a really good talk. And I was interested in her book because she did bring it up.
Yeah, so basically it is an autobiography.
Okay.
And she talks about how she grew up. She talks about the dynamic that was modeled for her, the dynamic she grew up in with family, the way her mom was always the breadwinner, the way that her dad and mom respected each other and treated each other, the way that her mom wouldn't marry the dad, even though they had 2 kids together. She wanted to make sure he was the one. And just kind of how being a person that has a lot of self-worth, being a person who doesn't want to be with someone who would rather, she says this a lot, I would rather die alone. And she's so lucky. She talks about like when she used to be a pick-me and wanted to fit in, and like growing up with a bunch of white girls. And
I was gonna say,
and she grew up super tall and bigger than these other girls, and
louder laugh,
noticing like how she was treated different than her other white friends.
Counterparts, yeah.
Yes.
She did. And she just talks about that on the episode with Rainn Wilson also, but she talks about how obviously growing up like that does make you compare and wonder things about yourself or whatever, like, and she talks about how now that's why it's such a big part of her platform is loving yourself.
Yeah. And then talks about like why she talks to men the way she does.
Yes.
And then just kind of explains the types of guys.
Yes.
And it's good. I love it. It's really good. It's emotional. It's moving. It makes you think. It instills stuff. And like she tells you, in case you don't know, this, and this.
Yeah.
Because someone needs to tell you. And my mom told me, and I learned the hard way. And in case you didn't know, here you go.
And I love that. Yeah. I think everyone should go listen to her episode because she does bring that stuff up too. She talks about her first viral video that kind of got her on the map, which was somebody had asked her, what are red flags in men? And she talks about very specific red flags, and that's when she started getting hate. And then she realized, oh, the men who are hating me are, whatever. And so that's when she started really making it. She talks about how she was making 7 videos a day just from off the hate and stuff like that and whatever. But she also talks about how her For You page is never filled with that. She's like, I post those videos to say fuck you, to fuck them. If they're going to say something about me, I can say something about them. Totally legitimate. She's like, my For You page, positivity shit. Yeah. She's like, it's so happy. It's like great, beautiful videos of landscapes and like da-da-da-da. And she's like, because that's the type of stuff I want to surround myself with. She has great advice about if you're having trouble on the internet, if you're fucking stressed out because you're doom scrolling all the time, which is something that I fall victim to too, because I'm so hyper aware of everything that's happening in the earth and on the world. And that's just not great for you, especially when you can't do anything. Side note, also great Soul Boom episode is the one right before Drew Afualo's with this guy who was there when the internet was created, basically. Okay. And he talks about doom scrolling as well.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just great. All over great episodes. Go check them out. But I'm excited. Nice. I'm glad you're reading her book, and I hope to also be able to read her book soon.
Yeah, I know. I thought that I want to buy a copy and give one to my sister as a gift, and then one to another sister person.
Yeah. I side note again, but about her, she talks about how in her book, I don't know if you already got to that or whatever, she talks about how she talks about it out loud, and then I guess it's a little bit in her book about how her sister came out to her. Yeah. And how like she struggled with like, oh my God, how is she gonna be? How is she gonna, and then she realized that she was making it about herself and she wasn't really being there for her sister.
Yeah,
and
she talks about that for a good,
so good.
She says it's like the worst thing she's ever done, and she always is going to hate herself for it.
Yeah. Hearing her talk about it was emotional. I could hear it in her voice, the guilt or whatever, but super good.
Yeah, and the audiobook is voiced by her, so it's perfect.
Good. Yeah.
And she talks about like her love arc with her boyfriend who's amazing. But it's funny because like they talk about how like they were like kind of liked each other back in the day, but like it didn't work out, or like it didn't seem like it would work. And now he's a great man and they're together slaying life.
And she talks about that too, about having patience and not being in such a rush to like
and he's
fulfill
the reason
something.
He was the one who was like, oh, why don't you make a TikTok and post videos? And like
Yeah, that's awesome. And she says, because they also talk about people who say they hate all men or whatever. And she was like saying like, I never correct anybody when they say that, because there must be a reason why you're feeling that way, which I 100% get and I super, super relate to. So I love that. And I love that she was like, there's no need for correction or whatever. She's like, saying that, like, if you feel that way, that's fine. If you want to do that and wait and see if there's ever going to be a fucking good guy, do it, because that's what I had to do. And she's like, but I did. I found somebody who is a good person. He's a good guy. He's a good, in general, person. And that's the part that matters. Yeah. And I just like, I loved it. It's just such a good episode. Yeah.
Nice. No, I know. I want to hear it too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I know, she's funny. She's like, unfortunately, I still am attracted to males.
I love her laugh.
Yes.
Yeah. I love loud laugh people. I love it.
I really enjoy her podcast. So she has two. I know she has the comment section, which is her talking, which I honestly haven't listened to any episodes. So I can't really divulge on that.
I don't know either.
But I listened to her podcast with her sister, Two Idiot Girls, and her and Dason are hilarious, and it's always a good time.
Oh, one last thing about the whole Soul Boom episode.
Yes.
Rainn Wilson, at the end of it, he kind of talks about, like, how it's cool to be this way and whatever, but do you think you need to have a good social or support network? And she said, yeah, because even if I didn't have the things I had online, I've always and will continue to have a great backing support family and support group in general, like her friends and her family. And he said, yeah. And he pointed out that her entire family came with her to do the podcast.
Cute.
And I literally teared up because I was like, that is so sweet. Yes. That is amazing. Yeah. That's exactly how you thrive.
I was going to say another thing before I forget is like that she also talks about how like trying to kind of show people who are kind of like pick-me's or want to like be one of the guys so bad that like
y'all the same. You're the same. They're gonna treat you the same.
Exactly, but also like don't be scared to find women and like have unity in between girls. Like be a girl's girl, be you know, and that's hard for a lot of people, not just because like everyone's antisocial, but the way the world is set up, women are so catty for no reason. Because
they think, and she talks about this on the podcast too. Everyone please go listen, go read the book, go listen to the book, go listen to the podcast. But it's so good. She talks about how, the pick-me situation. She talks about one specifically where she was shitting on this guy and then this girl came and was like, you're ugly too. Yeah, I think you're ugly or whatever.
She talks about it in the book.
So she pulls her out of the thing and she's like, do you not understand that because I guess he liked a comment saying that the other girl was ugly or something. She should shut up or something. Yeah, but not her comment because to those types of men, women are the same, which is fucking lower than them, dogs beneath them, and it's just and that's why being a pick-me doesn't make sense. But I really empathize with her being like, look, these people exist. These pick-me girls exist, and there's a reason why they exist. I mean, we've created them, and we expect them to act any differently when we also tell them that men are the end-all, be-all, and make all the great decisions or whatever. But there's ways to change that. You don't have to be a pick-me girl or whatever. I empathize with y'all. I can't relate, but I empathize with y'all for just... if you're trying to make the change, because it's sad. It's low-key really, really sad to see bitches, like, just shit on other women because they think it's going to give them a leg up when it never does. Yeah. It never does. I love her. I think she's really good. I hadn't really watched a lot of Drew Afualo's videos, or really, I just, like, every now and then some viral video of hers would come up where she's making fun of somebody.
And I was to say it's funny how the algorithm works because I mean, in the beginning, it was her, like, making fun of whatever dude. I, like, never get those anymore. They're all just, like, happy videos of her and Peely at the gym, her, like, in cute outfit, her doing, like, fun stuff. I'm like, yeah, I forget that she does that till you said that right now.
Yeah, I don't get any of her videos. Even to this day, I still don't get her. I listened to the episode on the podcast, and then I got one of her videos again where she's, like, doing some audio, like, TikTok trend thing. And I was like, I just had to shout her out on the comment section. Like, hey, I loved your episode. Because it was really good. I don't know. I love Soul Boom in general. I think everyone he talks to is really good. He asks the right questions. But then when you have somebody that is relatable, another woman who's just, like, going through the earth, too, it's different. It hits different. Please go listen. So, I have this episode that I listened to of Crime Junkie.
Yes.
I want to tell you a little bit about it.
Yes.
I hope that's okay.
Listening, of course.
I'll try to give it like a rundown because I don't want to. I think y'all should go listen to it yourself. It's the latest episode of Crime Junkie, or by the time this comes out, I don't know if it will be, but it's serial killer Paul Bernardo and Karla Homolka.
Okay.
Basically, Paul Bernardo and Karla are partners. Dating, and they live with, I believe, Karla's family. Karla has a younger sister, a mom, and a dad, and they all have their own rooms. I guess they're all want to be cops. Karla's father is a police officer, and because he's a police officer, he gets Karla and her boyfriend Paul into some type of like wait list basically to be a cop. So they're like right there. They're almost a cop. And Paul also has this like dark side of him that he only really shows to Karla, and that's his BDSM. Okay. And me and you know, we're sex positive. Yeah. We don't care. If you're into that, that's cool. Yeah. What you do behind closed doors is your business. Paul took it a little bit further than most people would say BDSM is. Okay. BDSM could be anything you want it to be, but with usually consent. It's usually just consensual. Yes. There's never really non-consensual parts of it. That's what makes BDSM so BDSM. He likes the non-consensual part of his acts, which is not cool. And he'll choke his girlfriend out, Karla, with ropes. He'll choke her out with clothing, just anything he can find. And at the time, this is like, he's taking photos because having a video camera is kind of expensive. Yeah. So he's taking photos of her tied up or choking out and whatever. And then he kind of starts taking photos of her little sister. And he starts feeling like her little sister is attractive. Okay. Yes. She's 13 years old. Ew. And obviously Karla and her boyfriend are 20-something years old. Yeah. And he shares this with his girlfriend Karla, and he tells her, I like your sister. I want to be with your sister, whatever. Karla ignores it. She doesn't really tell him no, but she ignores him. So he starts doing really inappropriate things. Trigger warning here. He starts jacking off onto her little sister's pillow while she's sleeping in bed. Oh my gosh. He tells Karla to dress up in her little sister's clothing whenever they have sex so that she looks like her little sister. That's gross. He and Karla have sex in her little sister's bed. At this point, he gets a video camera and he starts recording it. But he also starts recording himself doing all these other acts to Karla's sister's bed and her clothing and whatever else. And then that becomes not enough for him. And so he tells Karla that he wants to take her little sister's virginity. And she agrees. She says, yeah, you can have my little sister's virginity. Fucked up. Well, how do you give somebody else somebody's virginity? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Makes zero sense. So their plan is Karla, who is a vet currently, is going to get all these drugs from her job and basically spike her sister's drinks. Okay. So they have a movie night. It's just them and her little sister. Hey, I want to spend some time with you type stuff. Just to drug her drink. Karla gives her 2 types of drugs. One is like a muscle relaxer or something, and the other one's a sedative. Mm-hmm. With sedatives, if you've taken your dogs to the vet, they tell you, make sure they don't eat within 24 hours or whatever it is. Make sure they don't have anything to eat so they don't throw up. Yes. Well, unfortunately, they didn't do that because lo and behold, these 2 are fucking morons also. On top of being horrible, horrible people, they're also idiots. So she gives her sister these drugs. Her sister passes out. They start assaulting her, raping her, while it's all being filmed. Her sister starts choking and then vomiting and choking on her own vomit. But they don't care enough to try and help her, turn her on her side, turn her over, anything. They just let her die. Then they place her body in a certain way, they get rid of the drugs, and then they call the police. What the fuck? Yeah. The police come. There's nothing they can do. The poor little baby's dead. There's literally like no evidence really for some reason to say that anything happened to her other than an accidental death. Okay, because there's like no traceability. Yeah. They don't know. And I guess they're not assuming that her family would do something crazy like that. Uh-huh. So they just rule it what it is, an accident, and then everyone goes on their way. But this getting away with it has now set them both on this path where they're just gonna fucking ruin people. So she starts being not enough for him. He starts blaming her for the death of her sister, saying that if she was still here, he could still have her way with her. And what the fuck? Yeah, and saying that because he can't, that she needs to somehow fix this for him. So she goes out and she finds a girl. It's actually a coworker of hers. She has her come over, calls her boyfriend while he's doing whatever. Hey, I have a early wedding gift for you. He comes home. It's this girl. She's drugged her, this time with a little bit less drugs. A little bit smarter this time because she doesn't want her to die. Yeah. They assault her. That's on video camera. Whatever. The girl wakes up, has no memory of what happened. They just let her go on her way.
Oh my gosh.
This is one of the very few lucky people, because everybody else that they do this to ends up dying. And not because of the drugs, but because they end up cutting them up and getting rid of their body parts.
Wow. Okay, that was a turn I was not expecting.
Yes. He ends up going to get his own women sometimes. She ends up going to get the women
and they're
sometimes.
just like tag teaming. Are they both having sex with them?
Yeah, so from what I understand, they're both involved in the assaults, whether that be putting things in them or just helping in general, like holding her, whatever it is. And I want to make this clear, because people love to be like, was she scared? Was she battered? Is that why she was helping him? No, she was never battered. And even if she was happy in those videos. You can see like she's like, she looks
fucked up.
lit.
Yeah.
She's like, cool. Like, yeah, me and my husband are doing this together. He loves me. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's super fucked up.
Yeah.
And so she goes to work and he'll chop up the bodies. Whatever. He starts like pointing out women that he's gonna like assault and stuff like that, or like he stalks them for a while, and he'll have Karla come with him in the car and give him head while he watches these women do their daily routines.
Oh my gosh.
And she's okay with it. She's just going along with it. She's fine with it. Up. Whatever. He then admits to Karla that before all of this, before their escapades together, before the sister, before they were together, he was a serial rapist.
Oh my god.
He used to wait for people on the bus stops for any woman who was getting off the bus alone. If you were getting off the bus alone, he waited for you to turn your back. He would grab you from behind, shove your face into the ground, scream at you to keep your eyes shut, rape you, and then stab you. And he wouldn't necessarily stab you to kill you, just stab you. Sometimes he would stab them in their vagina.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and this was any age range. Age range.
Fucked up.
A lot of these women did survive. And that's like one of the things that like kind of stands out about their case together, is that he always did his attacks and then they lived. But as soon as he started doing them with Karla, they start dying.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, did she start the killing thing? Yes. But one thing they never did was record the actual killing, just the assaults. So that's all they ever had evidence for. These people did get caught. Karla got a plea deal because she turned him in because he beat the shit out of her with a mag light. And then she was like, you know what? I don't like you anymore. I'm going to the police.
Like, this is the last straw.
This is it. My sister, that's fine. But hitting me with a mag light, not cool.
No.
But yeah, so she fucking turns him in, says there's a video of the assault. They find it. They also see her doing it too. But they can only give her so much time because they got her plea deal. So I think she got like 10 years. But she got out early. She's out. She's free. I'm pretty sure. Go listen to the episode yourself, but I'm pretty sure she's free. I think he got life.
Yeah.
He got life. But yeah, just a quick little rundown of that horrible fucking episode I had to endure listening to, because I was like, God, it just like made me feel sick. I don't know. I feel like with Crime Junkie, when I listen to their episodes, you never really expect that much detail.
Yeah. They're kind of more like on the safer side, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. They're not trying to upset anybody for sure. They're trying to get the information out there. This episode, hard to listen to.
Okay. Yeah, no, and actually now that you say that, I haven't really been like digesting true crime in a while. It's been like spooky and funny stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to catch back up.
It's hard, man. I will say, like, I feel like that's the one thing about true crime, like, because people will pretend that, like, those YouTubers that are like eating and talking about true crime and like laughing and stuff like that is all that true crime is. And I feel like we listen to pretty respectable podcasts who give respect to the dead and like don't ever try to make fun of them.
No, yeah. And if there's ever anything like, and it's an issue on the next episode, it's
corrected.
Yeah.
100%. I 100% agree with that. So, like, when I listen to episodes, especially when I'm falling behind and all I've listened to are, like, funny episodes or whatever, and then I go back and I just start listening to all this horrible true crime, sometimes it takes a little bit of a toll where I'm like, maybe I should take a step back again a little bit.
Well, see, that's why you need to get a few more podcasts in your rotation.
Yeah.
Because then, like, since I'm so backed up on all of them, but then I can balance them out like funny, scary, true crime, and just like fill them in so that way I have like a steady, like decent
emotional
rotation.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Now we are going to give you guys a preview of our Reddit Rift episodes. Take it away, Jess.
Okay, so this one comes off of the Two Hot Takes subreddit. The title is My Boyfriend Doesn't Want Me Drinking During the Week. And I mean a single glass of wine. ... So he says. Me, 30 female, him, 27 male. I'm going to call him Dave for this post. I'm not even sure where to start. It was such a great Thursday. Got home from work, and Dave and I went shopping for a few things for dinner. Shrimp, salmon, and asparagus. One of my favorite meals. What goes well with this meal? A glass of wine. Mm-hmm. When I asked my boyfriend if he could go get a small bottle of my favorite wine so we could have a glass with dinner, he said no. I was sort of thrown off by his response, and I asked why. He said, you shouldn't be drinking on a weekday. I said, pardon me? Then his response was, your family are alcoholics, and I don't trust your family genes. I was livid. My dad used to be a heavy drinker, but he no longer is. And even so, how does that have anything to do with me and how I am with it? I've never abused alcohol before. I haven't even remembered the last time I had a glass of wine with my dinner. Mm-hmm. I've been living on my own since I was 15, and he's been living with me for 3 years. I said to him that I'm a grown-ass woman, and if I want a glass of wine with my dinner, I am more than welcome to do so. It's not his choice to say. Preach. And honestly, if he doesn't like that, then I feel like maybe he should move back to his dad's. Who gets mad at someone for wanting a glass of wine with dinner? He ended up getting very angry and stormed off to his dad's house. In the end of all of this, the perfectly cooked dinner went to waste. No one ate, and he will be staying at his dad's for the night. Am I the asshole?
Ooh. I want to get your take on that first.
Okay.
I feel like the answer is simple, but then it's also so complex.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think she's an asshole. I feel like she is right. She has
every right.
Yeah. She can drink. It's her life. If she wants to drink, she can drink. Also, the fact that she doesn't have a drinking problem and has never had a drinking problem. And like, just like, and I could understand like his point of view, like, oh, well, your family's alcoholics. But if it's like, yeah, your dad used to be an alcoholic and he's better now. He's better now. Like, people have different lives. Yeah. People have different upbringings. And like, yeah, I don't know if, first of all, if like it's such an issue, I feel like he could have gone about it a different way. He could have said, hey, I'm worried about your health. I don't think you should be drinking during the week. I feel scared because your dad was an alcoholic and I'm worried about you.
Yeah, I see you on a pattern or something.
You know, and then she would have been like, the last time I had a drink with my dinner was like 4 years ago.
Sure.
Like,
yeah. A conversation.
Yeah. Like, you know, I feel like it could have been handled way better. Also childish of him to like walk off and then ruin dinner. Like, yeah. You know, like, and also he could have just like given her the wine and been like, hey, like, I think, you know, and I don't know what's going on. This is a one-sided thing.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And like, you know, he could have got her the wine bottle and then been like, hey, you know what? Like, for me, I feel like maybe having wine with dinner is
on
like
a weekday
seems like a lot
too
for
much.
me.
Yeah,
for me. Yeah, I feel this way. You know, like
a conversation.
A conversation. I don't think I don't know. He's an asshole for the way he did it, but I mean, maybe it's in good intention. We don't know. Maybe he just loves her so much and he's so scared. But like, talk about it.
Yes, I agree. My thought process when I was listening was, okay, yeah, you're not the asshole. You're not the asshole. And I vibe with that still. I think she's not the asshole. But I do wonder, because like you said, it's one-sided.
Yes.
I always wonder with these stories, what about this? And my thing is, what if he did see a pattern recently? She's obviously only going to tell us what she wants to tell us. What if he has noticed, like, oh, yeah, you only have a glass with dinner sometimes, but when you have that glass with dinner, you're fucking rampage. You start getting crazy or something.
Yeah.
Because that's alcoholism too. Like, you know, and that's something that I feel like we don't really talk about is like alcoholism isn't just drinking every night or having a beer with dinner every night. Like that can be handled, that can be controlled. Alcoholism is when you have no control over your drinking. You start binge drinking whenever you do drink.
Yeah,
you start blacking out.
Glass and the bottle's gone.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, she said small bottle. Is there a reason why you don't have large bottles in the house? I'm just kidding. But I'm just
valid point.
But also, the whole like I don't trust your family genes is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah,
because we are all built different, and there's some things to say that genetics does play a part in addiction.
Yeah,
but that's not all it is.
Yeah,
and I would hope. I mean, you can only hope. And that's your partner. You've been together for how many years? Years.
3.
At least 3 years. So it's like you would see patterns already at this point. If you did think she was an alcoholic, you would have said something. You're Mark 3, hey, don't know because you're an alcoholic. Not no because I don't trust your family genes.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, if her father got better, you know, hopefully she sees that there has been problems with alcohol, so she knows her
and I was
limits.
Gonna say that's probably why she isn't an alcoholic, because she grew up with an alcoholic dad.
Right. Yeah, so I think not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Wait, with the jury
a gavel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So it's a little preview of our Reddit riffs.
Yeah, and there will be full episodes dedicated to that, titled Reddit Riffs. You'll hear us both going back and forth with stories. They are different themes sometimes they're a smorgasbord of stories, and it's not only just from Reddit. That's the name, because it did start on Reddit.
Yes.
So hopefully you'll stay tuned, and thank you for listening to another episode of Speaking Into the Abyss with
Jess and Des.
Woo!
Have a good night.
Good night.
Day.
Good evening.
Good morning.
Yes, that's great.
Yes.
Bye.